Hello and welcome to the video. I joined Fiverr in July 2020 when the whole world was in shutdown and we were all sitting at home during the pandemic. Fiverr as a freelance platform played a major role in getting me started with my VO business from home, as it actually proved to generate work during a very difficult time. So why the sudden change of heart, you ask? Am I parting ways with Fiverr? If you are a newbie eyeing Fiverr as your creative launchpad, is it still worth it? But before diving into all that drama, let me first discuss 6 legit issues that I observed with Fiverr in general and especially in the voiceover scene on Fiverr. And there is one particular issue in that which kind of infuriates me because it is very basic and deliberate, and I got a very ridiculous response from Fiverr support when I questioned about it. But we will come to that after the first 4 key issues. Number 1, the $5 cheap sell. Now $5 might sound like a decent amount for any beginner or amateur to start with, learn during the process and gain some experience. Before discussing how this is a problem in the platform by design, let me first explain how it is bad for you and me as voiceover artists. Every voiceover job is a commitment. It's not a one-off transaction that you can just finish off in 5 minutes and be done with it. Well, some of them are, but most of them would require some amount of your mental space in terms of discussions, understanding the client's requirements and revisions sometimes, so as to make sure that you actually deliver quality work. Also, depending on high volume, low paying jobs proves to be difficult for most people, and it kind of affects the work-life balance. If you're not able to make a proportional amount of income for the time and effort that you put in, which will help you cover the investments that you made to start with the voiceover business and maintain it and to pay your bills regularly, you will have to close shop eventually and do something else entirely with that time to make a living. That means your clients wouldn't have you there anymore to service them at their request. Bottom line, if you're not doing this just as a hobby and want to make a sustainable profession out of it, you cannot work at this $5 rate for long. So how does Fiverr accentuate this problem? By favoring the cheapest gig first model. The $5 price tag is often used by sellers on Fiverr as a clickbait, as the platform's algorithm itself behaves in a way to favor cheapest gigs first to attract more and more buyers to the platform. Now, Fiverr has seller levels based on your performance and track record on the platform, but there is no real separation between new seller, level 1, 2 or top rated seller in the context of the display price. A top rated seller selling at a display price of $5 will attract more buyers than all the other sellers selling at a higher display price. Well, at least in theory. I have observed the higher my base price is, the lower my click rates are. If you're not even getting the buyers to click on your gig, the possibility of making any sale at all on Fiverr is out of the question. So what the sellers do is prioritize setting the base prices minimum, and it has also contributed to the heavy success of this platform. But this, in my opinion, also attracts the second key problem to the platform, which is number 2, cheap and unprofessional clients. Now, if you're thinking, but wait, I've had some amazing clients from Fiverr. But yes, there are some amazing buyers on Fiverr, but they are a minority. This lack of quality clients in majority have been creating all the forthcoming problems, starting with number 3, the double-edged sword of Fiverr's incentive system. I've noticed that the platform has a primary problem with its incentive system, which is the root cause of all my skepticism towards Fiverr. Let me discuss some context before coming to that primary problem. On Fiverr, buyers can leave you ratings. Fiverr awards you seller levels as incentives based on your track record. But unfortunately, the option to rate sellers is used by certain buyers as leverage in bargaining situations. For example, I have had a number of buyers coming up to me and telling me, do this for the cheapest rate and we will leave you a 5-star rating. Earlier, I used to comply to this. I don't count on getting good ratings anymore. But can you really take that attitude on Fiverr? Not at all. Platform is heavily dependent on the ratings left by the buyer, among other things, to analyze your track record as a seller. The algorithm will decide whether or not to show you to more potential buyers. But in order for it to work in your favor, you will need to climb up the ladder from a new seller to level 1, level 2 and top rated seller. For this, the key metrics are your inbox response rate, order completion rates, your star ratings, etc. This is evaluated every 30 days to promote or demote your seller levels. Now, all of this seems fair if only the platform did not have the primary problem that I had talked about, that it is heavily biased in favor of the buyers. Even though Fiverr Fiverr's majority earnings is from cutting commissions from seller earnings. Since the source of funding are the buyers, they are treated like royalty. All of this combined makes you feel like Fiverr uses the incentive system to intimidate and force you to over-deliver to make sure that their buyers are happy. And it's not just the way the platform is designed, but also the way how Fiverr support behaves too, especially during disputes. Now, the following issues serves as examples to prove that the platform is actually designed to be biased in favor of the buyers. Issue number 4, there is no accept or reject option for a seller on a direct order. If a buyer makes an order without contacting you first, you will have to deliver no matter what, or risk a cancellation that might affect your order completion rate badly, which may in turn get your seller level demoted and reduce your competitive edge. For example, most of the buyers are clicking on your gig and ordering, seeing your display price, but a specific project might need some more add-ons from your gig. For example, time sync, split files, usage right, etc., which the buyers may not have anticipated for, because most of the cheap buyers, in my experience, don't even read the gig description in the first place to know all this. So they will surely want to cancel when you try to renegotiate based on their project requirements. And there is no mechanism at the platform level on a direct order to make it mandatory for the buyers to purchase necessary gig extras before making the order. Right now, they can just skip through everything and make the order for the display price and expect you to deliver that, and have an option to cancel if you try to renegotiate and ask for more money for the add-on requirements their project might have. So what would you do as a starting seller? Cancel? Deliver? Now, the Fiverr support, to their credit, is effective in rectifying badly affected order completion rate due to such price disagreements during a direct order. But it's a tedious process to go through on a regular basis. Issue number 5, the platform not honoring revision settings. Remember I talked about a ridiculous response I got from the Fiverr support, which was frustrating? Well, it's extremely disappointing that Fiverr operates this way. When you are setting a price for your gig, you are also considering the scope of the work that you will have to do, and revisions are a major part of it. So if you set 2 free revisions for a particular price, that means you can only give 2 free revisions because it involves more effort and more time. And most of the revision requests that may come your way may not be because you did anything wrong. But newsflash, the default platform setting on Fiverr is to give the buyer unlimited revisions if they choose to ask for it. The little box which says number of revisions which you set does not matter. Instead, it's an honor system which is at the buyer's discretion. Now remember the context I said. You are dealing with cheap and unprofessional clients most of the time on Fiverr, where you cannot expect fairness from their part. That could in effect mean that you are agreeing to provide unlimited revisions for a project for $5? Issue number 6, cancellations. But wait, this is not wrong from the perspective of a buyer. The person who puts in the money should be having some sort of guarantee that it will be protected. Yes, but that should not be at the cost of disregarding completely the time and effort put in by an artist. Because there is absolutely no way to guarantee that your time and effort will be rewarded on Fiverr. It is possible to not get paid at all if the buyer decides at any point that they are not satisfied with your work for whatever reasons. Moreover, Fiverr doesn't have a foolproof, unbiased dispute settling system in place. If there is a dispute, they need a resolution, guess whose side they will take? Not even something in the middle ground, like if an order is delivered and if it was revised once again, then maybe settle for half the agreed amount. But no middle ground at all. So now, since I've covered all the major issues, what is the after effect of realizing all these inherent problems with the platform? I will discuss that and certain changes that I have done for myself to deal with Fiverr. But before that, let me put rest to the question, am I to quit Fiverr? Well, no. And I will say this again, Fiverr, I think, is an amazing platform in many ways, especially if you're just starting out, but with frustratingly high level of issues. Me quitting doesn't change anything because there are around 30,000 voiceover services on Fiverr right now, and it's just growing. But it has definitely reduced my trust in the platform and have started to treat it like just another income source, which I do not have to put much effort into. Now, here are the changes that I have put in place to deal with the platform while being on the platform. Number 1, I reserve myself to servicing only those clients whom I can deem as premium buyers from the first impression. This steers me clear of buyers who have unrealistic expectations for the price they are paying. I encourage and prioritize clients who are clear in their communication because it helps me deliver a satisfactory service at the end. So I have basically started vetting clients for myself, and I do not encourage a lot of proportion of clients when I deem them as a waste of time and energy. But I do courteous replies because I think it's not a very difficult ethical thing to do, and in favor of the algorithm, it keeps my inbox response rate high. 2. If someone makes a direct order and it doesn't comply with my budget or the scope of work that I can provide on that particular budget, then I will try and discuss with them, renegotiate with them, and if they don't agree, I'm totally okay with cancellations. Yes, it will get my levels demoted, and I have been demoted from level 2 to new seller, but while being a new seller, I got a big order from Fiverr, and I want to discuss why this happened. Like, how did this order come to me? But before that, let me say this. Being not tied to these seller levels and ratings feels like in tune with all the benefits of being a freelancer, but working according to Fiverr standards to keep up with all the unfair things feels like being a corporate slave, and I don't want to do that anymore in any form whatsoever. I started selling on Fiverr at $5 rate. Cut back to 2023, my average selling price is $65 on Fiverr, although I have not succeeded in raising my display price from anything about $15 US. And now about that big order, while I was demoted to a new seller, it just proves to me that it's not all about seller levels and ratings, but also working smart, putting in the right demos, having the right keywords in your gig description, in your keyword boxes, in the description of the samples that you upload. There are a lot of other smart things that you can do to get discovered by the algorithm. Also, if you provide quality work, you'll always have repeat clients. Always works in your favor. Also, I'm skeptical that now during the advancement of AI voiceovers, I've only added demos with the background music so that it cannot be manipulated into making an AI voice or anything, at least not now. Comment below if you related to any of the things I discussed here, or if you think that I've got it completely wrong, please let me know. But if you're a beginner and you have better problems like which mic to buy, how to reduce echo and reverb in your room, things like that, do check out my other videos. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Have a great day.